So I stayed at hikikomori for over a year now, and it was a tough time. At that time, I finished uni. I didn't decide to go beyond 3 years of uni because I wanted to get into work straight away. So what I did instead was try to get into e-commerce. I tried selling ice baths, and it horribly failed because of two things. First, the price. The price was extremely high for what it really was. And second, because of my laziness. Because I didn't find this endeavor very interesting in itself. You know, it looked cool because I could make a lot of money from it. So I just decided to get into it, and I kept going, right? Because I wasn't satisfied, because I wasn't happy doing what I was doing, it was just getting worse and worse. And I was staying more and more in my house and limiting myself to like very few people. And it was a really, really tough time because I remember like at worst, I would have suicidal thoughts and I'll be like, at this point, I might as well end my life. But I never went beyond that because, you know, the only thing that kept me going was religion. No matter what, I knew that I had to keep going because God, at the end of the day, always has a way for his believer to be able to come back from those bad things, those things that made you feel bad, that made you feel like you wanted to end your life. At the end of the day, you kept going and you're still here. No matter how hard it gets, you can still keep going and you can still do things thanks to the blessings that God gave upon us. Regardless though, I didn't feel fulfilled. You know, I hated my life. I wanted to be done. The ambitions I had a few years ago, they left me totally. Like it was so hard to even wake up and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it for this reason. And you know, it was a beautiful reason, but even then, it felt so foreign to me. It felt like I could never achieve it. Maybe it was that I felt within myself, like really deep down, that I really couldn't get it. And because of that, it never motivated me to do more. But it really was bad. I mean, even now I'm still like kind of in the doubts, right? Because I've been doing YouTube videos. Even before this, I was doing YouTube videos for like 2 years, I think, something like that. And I never managed to make it. Like the most viral video I got was an Instagram video about some stupid like incel shit, right? And how I was like criticizing incels and how they should be better and whatever. I got like 17K views, which is not bad, right? But honestly, like if I want to make a living off of this and be able to help you guys, it isn't good at all, right? So my confidence was always really low when it came to YouTube. The thing is, I wasn't smart about it at all as well. I was just uploading for the sake of uploading. I just upload, okay, it's thumbnail, okay, whatever, put this, and then just go. And then throw it into the world. But it never quite worked out, you know? Because at the end of the day, you cannot like do this without thinking. It's not based on luck. It actually isn't. People will say that it's based on luck. It isn't, right? The point is, I couldn't make it. And so I already had high doubts about myself. But eventually, I managed to pull myself back up. So I want you to understand, guys, I completely understand how it feels to be in that state, to be alone, to feel like you have no one you can talk to. And even the people that you talk to, the moment you stop talking to them, you feel so empty. You felt the greatest thing in my day happened today, so now I have nothing else to look forward to, so I just do nothing, right? It's just such a depressing life, man. Such a depressing life. It is so destructive. It will destroy you totally, and you'll feel like a husk of who you were before. And that's exactly how I felt. Being a hikikomori is something that very few people will understand because most people, they always have something to do, right? They always have something that they can work for. You know, they are an employee, which is depressing in its own right. But the difference is that it's a different type of depressing. I mean, the difference is different. Okay, it is depressing as well, but this is different. I mean, it sucks the soul out of you so hard, so much harder than being just an employee. I mean, you'll hate your life being an employee, but you hate everything when you're a hikikomori. Because I know how bad it is, that's why I have to come to you guys who are like this and try to help out as much as I can and try to give you the proper guidance for how I did it. I mean, I recently came out of it. It's not as if I came out of it like a long time ago and I'm doing completely good. No, I get it. I was just the same, right? But at the end of the day, because I understand how bad it was, I want you guys to understand how bad it is for yourselves, which I'm pretty sure you do. But I want you to, after that, if you don't, then I want you to understand how bad it is, like how it destroys you, which it does. And then I want you to start looking towards the future with a brighter eye instead of looking at it like as if it's like going to be the worst. It's going to be, you know, like you're just going to suffer and, you know, you're never going to be able to leave. I want you to have hope. And hope is a hard thing sometimes to achieve. And even if you have it, sometimes you won't ever be able to reach it. But for something like this, there's definitely hope. And I'm going to show you a few ways that you can deal with it. So the first way I left was I started talking with myself, which is, like you'll be like, oh my God, this is so weird. Like, bro, you're like a little, they're like, it's not working, right? But I will say this is actually very helpful. The way I did it, I just spoke to myself, man. And I was just honest with myself. I spoke. Why am I doing this? What is going on with me? And I'd have like the hopeless guy that spoke. And then I'd have like the hopeful, charming, good man that's trying to advise me, right? And so I'm just pretty much, this is like a conversation with myself where I just typed. I was just typing. And I got very emotional as I did it. And it was an amazing experience because it just really helped me like to understand myself and why I was the way I was. It made me able to look back and then understand what was wrong, and then I corrected it completely. That is the first step that I needed to do, is to try to understand why you're doing what you're doing and why you fell off and why you're here right now. Second one that was very important as well is to leave. Again, like it's a very simple answer. Like you'll be like, bro, what are you talking about? Obviously I want to leave, that's why I'm watching this video. But sometimes it really is that simple, right? You just gotta take a step out, go and touch some grass, all right? But the way to leave is different. What I'm going to recommend to you, right, is to try to find ways to force yourself to leave. And I'm not telling you to fight over yourself and be like, I'm gonna leave, I gotta do it, right? No, I want you to find a way where you have to leave. There's no choice, right? So let's say, for example, you apply for a job that you can actually go for physically, right? And be present in physically, right? If you do that, you're gonna have to be outside. You cannot be a hikikomori anymore, right? So this is the first thing, is to try to find a way to force yourself to go outside. And so there are many ways to deal about this. There's the job, there's a meeting with a friend, and you try to meet with this friend as much as possible. You go to the gym, you make a routine where you have to go to the gym, and you go and you stay for as much as you like. There are so many ways to go about this, but this is also very important. You have to go outside some way, and you have to force yourself to do so. But let's say, like by the biggest coincidence ever, which probably isn't, right? I know you look at me and you're like, man, I can't do this. You probably can, but because I'm nice, I'm gonna give you another one. Try to start very slowly. So I'm giving you right now the brutal way to go about this, right? But I want you this time, and for this instance, to try to take a slower approach. Because at the end of the day, people are different, right? People are going to have different responses to different ways. So for example, if someone gets brute forced into leaving, they're not going to like it, right? Sometimes that's just how it works. And so they prefer taking step by step. And so in this instance, that is what I'm telling you to do, is to try to do it step by step. So for example, you can take a step outside and, have a minute, just not even that much, just a minute of being outside, just going around, and gazing. And if you want to do more, then you do more. If you don't want to do more, you just go back. And then you start doing that slowly but surely. And I'm telling you, man, if you actually stay consistent with this, you're going to feel happier, you're going to feel more fulfilled, and then you're going to find yourself not being as negative and not as destructive. You're in a closed space where it's only you, and so when you have bad thoughts, there's no one else to dispel them. You can only be by yourself, and you can only be surrounded by those evil thoughts, those thoughts that tell you that you're not worth it, that you're weak, that you're never going to be able to leave. But this is why you have to, sometimes just go outside and just literally stay for a few minutes, and that's it, right? And I'm sure if you do that, you're gonna start wanting to go outside more, right? Want to. And even if you don't want to, it's fine. Actually go back, and then restart tomorrow, and then slowly up the limit of time that you stay outside. So for example, let's say you start with a minute. If it's that bad for you, don't even walk, okay? Don't even walk, just stay still, just chill. You're in front of your house, or like if you're in an apartment, you're in front of your building, you just stay there, and that's it, right? For a minute, and then you go back, right? And then you start upping it, 2 minutes, right? After, let's say, a few days, when you feel comfortable doing 1 minute, you start doing 2 minutes. And then after like 4 or 5 days, you start doing 3. Then, the next 2 days, you start doing 6. And, just start upping it slowly until you're used and you actually start doing walks. And walks are very beneficial to do, especially in the morning, right? So you should definitely do it in the morning. You wake up, And the thing is with hikikomoris though is that their sleep schedule is so incredibly messed up. But that's why you have to start also sleeping early. But I will say that this is something complicated because of the way you are, because you haven't found the reason why that pulls you, that makes you wake up and you're like, yeah, I gotta do it for this reason. I gotta keep going for this reason, right? And so as long as you don't have that, then you're never gonna be able to fully move on and fully try to resolve all the trauma within yourself that made you a hikikomori, right? And another thing, right? Because at the end of the day, I know how it is because I was a hikikomori myself, is that you're gonna make plans, you're gonna be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna work out today, I'm gonna do this and that, all right? I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And then next day, you know, it's night and you're like, oh shit, I was planning on doing that, but oh man, it's too late. Let's do it tomorrow, man. And then tomorrow, oh shit, was I supposed to do something? You know, it's like that, right? So I'm telling you, definitely, 100%, do not forget, do put something like, I don't know, use a task app, right? Use an app that will put some task and you can just, you know, a ring or something. You put, no, an alarm is even better. Like you'll be chilling in your phone and then all of a sudden, you have to go, you have to do your thing, and then you do your thing, right? You just cannot forget, because that's the worst thing about being a hikikomori is how blurry the days go, and so that nothing that you think really stays because it isn't original. It is the same thing, right? And so that is why you must remember, you mustn't forget. That is very important, because if you forget, you're gonna be staying in this cycle of I'm gonna do it, and then you're gonna forget. And I'm gonna do it, you're gonna forget. This is pretty much how it goes. So I'm telling you, do not forget. This is very important, right? Do not forget it. You're at the end of this video. I hope that the advice that I gave you has managed to help you, because that is what I'm trying to do, is try to help you, try to make you become a better man, try to make you able to fight against the vices that this world is always trying to throw towards us so adamantly, right? So I want you to fight. I don't want you to give up, man. And I want you to start watching more of these videos, not even from me. It doesn't have to be from me. It can be from self-improvement YouTubers or anything of the sort. People that actually give some wisdom, that actually know what they're talking about, that will help you out into leaving the rut that you've been in general, right? As long as you're able to leave, because the more you surround yourself, you know, at the end of the day, because you're a hikikomori, you don't get to see many people, and so your 5 friends are the ones that, you know, you get the most influence off. I forgot the flipping quote, all right? But if the only time where you see people is through YouTube, then you have to surround yourself with YouTubers that are going to push you forward, right? So watch YouTubers like Hamza, for example. I heavily recommend him. You know, he's also one of the reasons why I managed to leave my hikikomori, because he gave me the motivation I needed and the motivation to start. And I'm sure there's others, but for now, that is the one person that I know that I think will give you the best benefits and makes the best self-improvement videos so far. All right, I'm gonna catch up. One day, guys. Look forward for this. All right, because we're here. Right now we're at OG. Bro, I'm so happy. I'm actually so happy because there are going to be OGs, and I want you guys to really remember this and really see how far I come in the future. Because I don't plan on giving up ever again. I gave up, like honestly, during my hikikomori days, I gave up. I was like, I'm done. Like, there's nothing. What the hell do I want to do with my life? I wasn't even sure. I was like, just give up, man. But this time, I'm not giving up whatsoever. I'm locked in. I've never been so locked in my life, and I'm gonna prove it. Because the qualities of these videos are only going to get higher, and I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to see the lighting, because the lighting right now is not the best. And look at the setup right now. I got a flipping mic. You know, we're slowly, you see what I mean? You see what I mean, right? So, yeah. Anyways, man. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you have a great day, and you try to do the best that you can to become better, and that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you see someone that you admire. Have a good day.